Good morning, everybody. It is Wednesday, the 27th of May, which is really scary. We're in the last few days of the 20s and very, very quickly approaching the deadline for this piece. But I have done just over an hour this morning, and you can see here that I have, no surprises, been working on the blossoms and have managed to start kind of moving down. There are these ones, and then there are a few more down below, and then that is the right hand side of the piece finished in terms of blossoms. You might also be able to see that I've moved to a larger, it's just slightly too big for the frame here, but I've moved to a larger frame, a larger snap frame, a Nerd snap frame. This is the 29 by 29 centimeter version, which I think is about 11 inches by 11. And the reason I've done that is just so that I would have more space to work in and I wouldn't have to keep moving the frame around, because of course at this point we're not doing, very concentrated areas. The stitches are kind of spread around. Speaking of snap frames, there was a comment on one of the videos yesterday which really, really made me smile, and it was about the fact that I stitch with one hand, and I do stitch with one hand, and it's something that drives me mad, the fact that I stitch with only one hand, because I see all of these amazing floss tubers, amazing stitchers, doing their live streams, stitching with two hands. It's so quick, it's so efficient, everything runs so smoothly. I can promise you I have tried, but for some reason this hand and this hand, they just don't seem to work together when stitching, and it's really weird because they work together. Obviously I eat food with two hands, with, cutlery, whole cutlery with two hands. I knit, that uses two hands. I do lots of things. I type with two hands. I played many musical instruments as a younger person with two hands. But for some reason, the stitching, it's like they just don't seem to work together. But I promise you, I am going to make a commitment to try and make myself into a two-handed stitcher. So on the next, I'm not going to do it with this project because time is so much of the essence, but for the next project, the next big project, which is a lavender lace, I promise you, I will make every attempt to become a two-handed stitcher. And if I can't do it at that point, well then I'm just throwing in the towel and accepting my fate. So anyway, this is the end of the morning stitching, and then hopefully by this evening, fingers and toes and everything crossed, we will have the stitches, the blossoms down here, and then I'll be able to move over to the other side. And the skin as well, as you can see, needs some attention, but yeah, I might actually do some of that later on before I do the blossoms. We will see. It's a beautiful day, but thank goodness a little bit cooler. Yesterday was absolutely boiling, but today's a bit nicer, and I certainly feel more in the mood for doing some stitching. So I'll talk to you later. So it is the end of day 27, it's Wednesday evening, and I have finished all of the blossoms on this side, and I'm now going to move over and start the blossoms on the left hand side. Now thankfully there aren't nearly as many on this side as there were on this side, so I reckon it'll be a lot quicker going, hopefully. You may notice that I've basically abandoned the skin for now. I think I am going to kind of change my plan on that one and just leave it until maybe Friday, or whenever these blossoms are finished. I'll then start that and try and get it completely done, even though it's going to be tough going because that's a lot of 1/1 stitching. But the other way I just was kind of not really doing it anyway, so it wasn't really making a difference. So that's the end of day 27. I will see you tomorrow for day 28, and hopefully we will have some more blossoms finished by tomorrow evening.